Hello everybody, welcome back to Let's Play Hearts of Iron 4 New Order as the WRF. Let us continue on from where we last left off. So we have unified West Russia. I mean, there's still a few straggler states, but I think we are more than okay to kind of deal with them. And we're now dealing with our new mini-game. Currently we're favoring no faction. I do want to start increasing the influence of Nikolai. I think that's kind of who we want to go with. I want to go with the Orthodox Leninist here. But we have a sports rivalry. While our successful unification of Western Russia and the effects on integration have done much to unite the people under a common banner, fierce rivalries between the many regions of our nation still remain. While the era of armed warlordism may have ended, our people are finding new ways to act on these rivalries. One such method seems to be hockey. The recent game between the Gorky Tankers and the Kazakh Akbars has ended in chaos, following a narrow 4-2 win for the Bars in the first game of the season. The people of Gorky have refused to take the defeat lying down, kicking off a series of drunken demonstrations. The protests, which later became rioting, involved an attempt to prevent the AK Bars from returning to their hotel, and defacing of several locations across the city with offensive slurs against Tatars, and many incidences of looting and vandalism. The damages following the event have totaled to a considerable sum, and many are concerned that it may have set off a worrying precedent for future games, especially as the hockey season begins in earnest. Well, hopefully nothing too bad will happen, if we're lucky. How much longer until these areas are actually unified and we start getting political power back? Less than a month. Honestly, that's not too bad at all. And I don't know at what point we are going to start attacking the other major factions here. Hopefully sooner rather than later, but we'll see on this. And I was doing most of these. Yeah, are gonna affect one person more than the rest. Now, I don't know if we swing hard in one direction, like we only support Nikolai and we ignore the other two, if there's going to be like some sort of coup or some sort of like counterbalance mechanic or something like that, or if we're allowed just to go straight into supporting one person heavily. I guess we will find out in due time. Soviet Pacific Fleet has defeated the... Yeah, there's the Indonesian War. Can I quickly just skip through that? Thank you. How are you guys doing? Soviet Pacific Fleet, I think you guys will end up unifying at some point. Which I mean is good for us. We can appease factions. I mean, it doesn't say anything about party unity. If you remember when we were doing the balancing act between Zhukov and Tumanchevsky, there was like that unity of the party. Maybe there'll be something like that at some point, but we'll see. We'll see. Encourage returning expatriates. Weekly manpower goes up by 1,000, so that's like 4,000 manpower. Honestly, is not incredible, I would say. And I think we want to restore VKP membership. We'll restore membership to old party members. Try to, you know, make West Russia a truly unified state, bringing in more people, emphasize the people's roles. I'm guessing it's going to enfranchise more and more people. I'm probably not going to like go hard on just one exclusively. I'll probably take some other stuff as well. Like, you know, maybe we'll emphasize the people's roles and kind of do two or do all three, depending on like what the effects are. I still want to go for Ryskov in the end, but you know, I'm not going to choose exclusively his decisions. Caffeine flow. Luxuries such as tea and coffee were once rare commodities during the chaos of the late 50s and the early 60s, only available to those with both money and connections, and utterly out of reach for most of the population. However, as Russia stabilized, access to the global economy has drastically improved, and now once rare commodities are being imported in increasingly large numbers. Chocolate, fruits, foreign wines, and of course, coffee and tea. Now access to caffeinated beverages is no longer a luxury restricted to privileged few, but increasingly common, if still pricey, drink of choice for many of our citizens. Hey, we love coffee here. Not me personally, I kind of hate it, but congratulations to the people of Russia. Empower workers' organizations. Increase religious rights. Political power gain for a little bit as well. Okay, Estrik has unified the Russian Far East. Again, that's going to be another country that can unify with us in due time. I'm happy to see him. I'm happy, even though we might not see eye to eye on all things. I'm happy to have him in my court. And if we can both attack Central Siberia at like the same time, do like a two-front war, would be very, very nice to see. Improve healthcare network, agricultural mechanization. So what do you actually do for us? You add money to the debt. Poverty rate will begin to improve. What actually is a poverty rate? I've not actually looked at this. Poverty rate right now is 70.5%. Okay, it's extreme. Largest trade partner right now is that you? Or is it you? I actually don't know who our largest trade partner is right now. It's the one with the star. I'm guessing it's you. I honestly don't know who else it would be. That's fine. Largest trade resources, rubber. GDP per capita is increasing. Okay, well let's try to bring down poverty at least a little bit. So that's improving agricultural mechanization. 45 political power is fine. I mean, it's going to cost us some money, but I mean, our debt is fairly reasonable. The deficit is actually increasing substantially. I guess we could cut this down when we're not actually at war. I guess I can just control click. Not like this. Shift click. There we go. Let's go like right here. I think that seems reasonable. I mean, if we're not fighting anybody, there's no reason to be spending a stupid amount of money on nothing. At least that's the way I kind of see it. Oh, we have free production things again. What do we want to spend those on? We have one more. Let's throw a few more into the civilian economy. I mean, we have 22, which I mean is fine. I mean, it's not great by any means, but we're not like the richest part of Russia, right? Military coup in Cambodia. I mean, the richest part of Russia is probably Muscovan. Unfortunately, though, we don't actually own that part of territory. So replace elite voting with an equal voting. Emphasize the party status. I mean, it gives us 50 political power. But you know what? I'm going to emphasize the people's role a little bit. We're going to give people more of a choice in the in this matter. Currently is in favor of, it doesn't actually say here, probably because it's not in favor enough. Encourage agricultural mechanization. Okay, so you actually need more influence for these people. It allows you to do more reforms. Okay, I see. Back in town. On the day of his return to his office, Moshin made sure to dress his finest. Memories of sneering mockery echoed through his head as the restored administrator walked into the building, flashing his entrance card like it was studded with Fabergé eggs. As military officers shuffled by him, hiding their ranks and names, he could barely resist the slight smile on his face from blossoming into a full-fledged grin. Yes, he whispered. Party member Moshin was coming back in style. There was a table right next to his office, and on it lay several party emblems and dossiers attached. Moshin grabbed at a random one. The office goodies were always the best part of the first week, and he began flicking through the fresh pages of the dossier like he owned the place. He's always fantasized about getting a nice cushy desk job, but the jackasses who thought they ran West Russia with their guns and their stupid army kept getting in the way. Now, however, this was his town, and he got a nice promotion in the bargain too. The office was his domain, prime and unmolested, and the officers who'd once bullied him were now well out of the way. He hoped that they'd all have their fingers rot off in the snow. Moshin plopped himself into his office and gorged himself on a biscuit stash he found on his way in, and was half suspicious when the security staff came to escort him out. Protesting, Moshin snapped that he was a bureaucrat now, damn it. Georgy Zhukov had kicked the army out and men like him. Who were they to defy his authority? Rolling their eyes, the staff asked him to return on Monday. The offices were closed on Sunday, apparently. Murmuring, they retreated, leaving a humiliated Moshin to walk all the way back to his home. At least he kept the free pen. The Plains province in... Okay. So first day on the job, he's immediately kicked out. Little, incredible. Currently is in favor of... I hope this is not broken. I mean, there's a chance that it might be. I'm hoping it's not, but it's not impossible. Let's go for automatic support weapons. Missing support. You want me to build the anti-aircraft equipment? I will get that going. Can't promise we're going to get a ton of them, but we'll try our best here. Is there anything else? I mean, maybe we want to start building some helicopters as well. The helicopters are pretty good. I mean, we're not going to have, like, a ton of them. But, like, 1 or 2 divisions with helicopters would be nice. Early helicopters. Are you the ones that actually can be made into assault helicopter squads? Roll all the way down here. No, it's not you. Attack helicopter company. We do not have improved attack helicopters. We need you first. Okay. I wouldn't mind researching them. The helicopters, again, they're pretty good. If we can have, like, 1 division with helicopter support, I think that would be worthwhile. Anarchist militants, She's Barcelona. Is Iberian unit going to collapse? It's only 1965, guys. Unstable. A little embarrassing. Like and again, we played America. They were able to remain stable the entire time. Technically, they collapsed for some reason in like 1973. I honestly don't know why. Because it felt like they were doing a pretty good job, but you know, it is what it is. How have you not killed the Black League yet? You might actually lose. I was really hoping that West Siberia would win their war. And then we'd be able to peacefully unify with them. But okay, never mind. They suck. They suck? They suck. Embarrassing. The Black League. Actually, oh, don't hit the microphone. Does the Black League annex these 2 territories? They might, actually. That might be in their domain, not in our domain. Which is disappointing to say the least. What are you guys down here? Supply consumption minus 2%. That actually really, really good because we're in Russia. Okay, we established the people's role. Uplift socialist values. Stability goes up. We'll spend some money to get some free administration buildings. And a new age of culture. Okay. New economic policy. Our economy will become more decentralized by 3. I'm guessing there's going to be another new mechanic we have to kind of look at. Proud Red Army looking outwards. Eye straight ahead. I mean, the thing is, like, our focus on diplomatic actors will follow socialist nations. Thing is, there's not many socialist nations at all. The ruling social parties throughout the world will be approached to join our pro-international socialist organization. Like, I think it makes more sense for us to look towards the United States. It's just more pragmatic that way. Like, okay. Country list. Open. No. Where is, Does the country list not exist? Because this is different? Because it's usually, I think, in, like, the bottom of here, right? Okay, well, fine. Let's look at ideology. Outside of the former Soviet Union, who are socialist? The Arab People Republic. A handful of African states. Madagascar socialist. Cuba. Haiti. Not, like, again, not really who I would consider heavy hitters, right? I think I would much prefer the pragmatic approach to the United States than trying to create a new socialist internationality. That's not going to happen. I think we got to play pragmatically here. That's what we're going to be doing. We're looking towards the United States. Try to reclaim official American recognition as a legitimate successor state to the Soviet Union. I think that just makes sense. Currently, it's in favor of Yakovlev, 34.5. That's fine for now. Democracy's returned to Italy. Let's appease. I don't want to spend the points, though. At least not yet. We don't have resource extraction 3 to get uranium. I don't know if we're going to really need the uranium. I mean, it's a 5% GDP boost for Perm. It's not nothing. It's not nothing. I think we just bank our political power up right now. And with our new technology slot, I think we want to get our way towards that helicopter. Helicopter, improved attack helicopter. It will take a little while, but once that's done, we'll try to build a single unit of it. How many troops does the Black League have? 6 to 11. We're at 36. 14 to 28. 8 to 22. So it does seem like we are the largest military force, right? At least right now. Could change, you know, that's not impossible. But, like, we have decent equipment. I mean, our plane numbers are pretty low, but that's kind of to be expected. Hey, our credit rating's improved. We're now CCC, as opposed to a CC. Which means our debt interest has gone down to 7.6%, as opposed to, what was it, 9 point something percent? 9.8 to 7.6. Credit ceilings at 130%. I mean, I'm happy to take it. Paying less money on interest is nice, right? We still have a surplus as well. We're actually paying down our debt. Barely. How much do we have in debt right now? 1 billion? Yearly surplus. So we'd have this pay off in 5 years. Assuming nothing changes, 5 years from now, we would be able to pay this all back. I mean, inflation's still pretty good. I mean, our GDP growth almost entirely is just due to conquering more territory. Oh, French actually won that war. I thought France was actually going to lose. The way I was looking at that, I really thought that France was going to falter a little bit. But I think we do want to have our eyes towards the West. Like, I mean, again, like, what do the rest do? Nod towards the empire. So, like, you know, we're nodding at the United States, being like, you know, you are what you are. But it just doesn't make any sense. It doesn't make sense. I think we want to try to appeal to the United States. Maybe not. I mean, we do. There's no denying that. So let's just go for Eyes to the West for now. Of course, that is going to bolster the reformist wing of the country, but, you know, we have a long time before we're actually fully unified. Our two options. With our two options decided, it's time for us to choose our diplomatic choice. Could very well determine the future of Russia. Our first option is to align with the Organization of Free Nations in America. While defending America could come in handy with the war against Germans and other Russian powers, it could be very well show that we are betraying our very ideology. America could aid us economically and militarily, but a more socialist option is also apparent. Instead of aligning with the OFN, we could choose our own alliance, the Comintern, befriending other socialist nations in the world. And it would not betray our ideology. It could also be perfect for us on the world stage, displaying our strength and social solidarity. Unfortunately, no Comintern could provide what the US could, and may very well weaken us in the long run. We must choose an approach, as diplomacy is necessary for what we want any sport for uniting Russia. Do we choose America, sacrificing ideology for aid, or do we choose the Comintern and perhaps unite the socialist world but alienate the Americans? Again, the socialist world is like, you know, the Arab People's Republic, which might completely collapse during the oil crisis, Cuba, Haiti, and Madagascar. Like, there's not a big power. You know, it's not like, I don't even know. It's not like Italy is communist. It's not like, you know, even like Turkey or India. Like, they're not even socialist, let alone communist. Like, we know Cameroon's going to collapse very, very soon, because that just happens when, that's just what's going to happen when they lose their war against the French. And it's like, okay, aside from that, I mean, Venezuela's, like, progressive? But progressive isn't enough. These two are fascist. There's no international socialist movement right now. Unfortunately for us. So we just gotta be pragmatic. 16 points. What do we want to do? Persuade other factions. I mean, this is a stability boost as well, which is not bad. Higher foreign experience. That improves our military capacity. Expand the power grid is fine, actually. We don't need it. Heavy machinery. Improves our regulations. Escalate land reform. Let's escalate land reform, please. And you know what? Let's also empower workers' organizations. I'll be a nice guy to those guys. Now again, we are going to be giving a lot of power to the progressive wing. Let's just call it the progressive, the socialist, and the communist wings. We're going to be giving a little bit of support for the progressives here, but that should be fine. The heroes of Murmansk. Rumors have started to leak from our former provinces in East Karelia, wrongly stolen from us under the apocalypse that was Operation Barbarossa. It seems that the British Finns have had time trying to keep their ill-gotten gains, while tales from the naive While tales from the naive and the hopeful have always leaked to us about the general Russian uprising in our lost lands, it seems that there's more truth to this gossip than there was before. Any asserting merments especially, discontent against the occupying Finns have reached a boiling point. If something isn't done, it seems that Helsinki will have a full-blown insurgency on their hands. Something in their political atmosphere that they could scarcely handle. However, when the door comes to a close, a window opens for others. Some leading members of the Merman separatist movement have graciously reached out for us for aid and assistance in our upcoming struggle against the Republic. Sir, we should consider this an offer for if we do supply them, and they should succeed. Who's to say that they wouldn't want to join their brothers in Russia proper? Does that give us any points in supporting them? Not yet. We've essentially prepared for an intervention in Finland. We declare war on them. But not much we can do about that right now. You know what? Sure. Let's hire foreign experts. We'll spend 75 political power on that. It's going to make our military a little bit better. And our military, again, it does need to be as good as possible. But I will say that at least right now, this is going to be a good time for us to end this episode. So you can enjoy me, thumbs up. Not enjoy, give me some down. You want to see more, subscribe, and goodbye.